Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ, and I'm rubbing my... Can you see how white they are? I am frozen. The fire is kind of going, but we have like 3 or 4 bits of wood left, so I'm trying to manage without much heat. And it's a beautiful day outside, so I'm hoping it will reach inside sometime today because so cold. Anyway, happy Easter, my friends. It is Margarete Miller Day because, you know, it just keeps on going despite the fact that it's a holiday. So let's get into it. The prompts, I'm not going to individually go through them. You'll see as we go through. But the prompts for week 13, a stirring tool, dictionary page, a line of poetry, a label, a path or road, and bonus of circles. So I've created a little story for this, and boy did it give me some trouble. So I'm going to start off with my path or road image, which is this one. I did wasn't sure which side I was going to go with. It's from a magazine on jogging, of all things, one I picked up free. I think this is Harlem, this image, and this is somewhere in New York. I don't know. But I'm going to go with this one as my path or road. So let me just trim out this. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday weekend. I'm filming this on Easter Friday, Good Friday. Hubby has gone up to his parents to do some stuff around the property for them because they are not well enough to do it. So he's going to go up once a fortnight and just do any tasks that they need doing around the place. I think today he was going to do some pruning out the front of their property of like fruit trees and stuff. Do I need any of that? I'll keep it for now. I'll decide at the end of the video whether I'm chucking it or keeping it. Don't need to decide that right now. Yeah, so I thought I'm going to try and get as many videos done while he's away as I can, because, you know, he's going to be at home for the next 4 days, including today. Obviously, you know, he's out at the moment, but he should be home by lunchtime. And I'd like to spend some good time with him and not worry about, oh, I've got videos to make or this, that, the other. So get this one done. That goes up tomorrow. Then I need to get Monday's video done since Monday's a holiday. Right, so that's going to be my path or road. I keep burying my prompts. Let's bring them out to the side so I can actually see them. Dictionary page. I've chosen 3 little dictionary pages here, and I think I'm going to use a highlighter to highlight a few definitions. So first off, this one on the C, I want to highlight crime. And this is all part of the story. So crime. And then I had to go with 3 on this one because the definition goes across pages, and that's punish. And I think punishment. I might do punishment if I can find it. There's punishment here as well. It does not seem to have punishment. Oh, it's at the end of punish. Okay, so it is in there, but it's just under punish. And then it's got a little dash with meant on the end. Okay, so that's kind of the dictionary pages. Stirring tool. This took me forever. I'm sure somewhere in one of my books or magazines I have a large wooden spoon, but I could not find one, and I went through so many magazines. I did find this little one, and I thought, oh, it's so small, but I think it's actually going to work perfectly for my little story here. So let's arrange the dictionary pages. So as long as I have my highlighted words showing, I'll be happy, and that's why I highlighted them, so I didn't end up covering over the bits that I wanted. Maybe we'll tear this one off, save that bit for something else, and then maybe I'll tear this one off as well. Let's just trim off that bottom bit as well, so I can try to match up the the entry from the two sides of the page. Kind of like put it like that, and then maybe I'll do that. Oops. Maybe I'll leave that heading there, punish, right in the middle of the definition. Crazy, but that's okay. Right, so poetry, we also need to trim down the top of that, but I'll leave that for now. Now, I am noticing I've got a bit of white space, but we haven't finished. So I've got the poetry, dictionary page, line of poetry. I again took a while to look because I wanted something that fitted my story, and I think I found just the ticket. It's called The Woodcutter's Night Song by John Clare. It's an old book, and the 4th verse says, "If I stop and stand about, well, I know how things will be. Judy will be looking out every now and then for me." I don't know if you can see where I'm headed with this story, but if you can't, that's fine. We will get there. So I'm just going to take that verse. I'm just going to tear it out because I don't want the rest of the poem, because the prompt is a line of poetry, not the whole thing. So it's perfectly fine and appropriate to just take part of the poem. I sip of my coffee, and it's actually really pretty cream paper too. So I might just tear off a bit of that pretty cream paper and maybe put that down somewhere like that. Labels, I've chosen out 3 labels. I'll get to the story and how everything sort of builds, but I'm just kind of wanting to arrange things. Might have to find something else to kind of put in the background, because we've got white space. So that's the labels, and then the bonus of circles. I've grabbed some magazine paper and punched some circles out in 2 different sizes. I thought I punched some blue. Did I not punch blue? I punched blue in the smaller circles, and I thought I'm just gonna like sprinkle them around somewhere. This one's got text on, not phased at all that it's got text on it. I'm wondering whether I can actually cover up the white space with the circles. And I've chosen the colours to kind of go with this image because it's quite blue toned. And there's little splashes of yellow, just adds a little bit of colour. Oops, there's 2 there. These labels I'm using are from the Junk Journal Studio. Oops, there's a couple there too. That one's got a wee chunk out of it. We can hide that. And let's do some of the blue in the bigger size. I may not use them all, but so far it's looking like I will. Let's do a couple of this in the blue. I like that. And then our wooden spoon, I will place that as we go along. Now I also need to think where I want to pop these. I could just actually put them down here. I think I might. Do I want to tear this? Let's tear this for a change. Normally I cut it with my guillotine, but I think today I'm just going to give it a fun edge. Oh, this bottom bit could be a bit tricky. Got a lot of room under the little decorative border. And I broke 2 fingernails this morning, pulling out a pile of magazines, and I just grabbed them not very well, grabbed them with the ends of my fingers rather than my, full fingers, and broke 2 nails. It was so annoying, but never mind. It happens, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to go ahead and whip off the top. This is probably actually out of screen, the top of this, so I'll bring it down a little bit just so you can see something about there. Okay. Right, this circle's on the first layer, so let's put this one down and start gluing. Yep, I will get to the story. Don't panic. Don't panic, friends. Oh. Typical glue clog. Let's grab a pin out and take care of it. I was probably going, nope, it's too cold. I don't want to come out. Mind you, it's been a couple of days since I used it because I was out all day yesterday. So tends to, if it sits for like a day or two, it tends to clog up in the nozzle. There we go. We have gluey action going on. Let's just slide that in under there. And the cold is making my nose drip. All right, now this dictionary page. So let's put that down. I could use the scraps of dictionary also to put in the background, and maybe I might, just as background texture and interest. The glue is coming out, but it's coming out in an even narrower stream than what it normally does, so I think it's still slightly clogged, but we're getting glue, so that's okay, even if it is kind of like pulling hen's teeth. It's fine. Okay, so let's grab out one of these scraps and just pop it down at the bottom there, fill up a gap just in case we end up with a gap. May as well use it, then it's not being added to my scrap bag. I've still got more there. Pop that down there. Okay, so this, I could trim that down, but I think I prefer it there to cover the page, and it's part of the whole story of the scene. It's something like the New York Marathon or something, this particular image. Right, I might change my mind on this and hide that bit of text underneath. Or let's put it there. Totally going to be changing the composition on what I had. Well, not totally, but a little bit here and there. just because I can. Oh, it's the same colour on both sides. Pop that one underneath. Just getting the first layer of things in place. Right, go ahead and put this down on the bottom so I'm not in danger of losing it, our little line of poetry. It's a poetry book for children, but my goodness, when I was looking through it, it's formatted like an adult's book, like doesn't look like a children's poetry book. And a lot of the poetry talk about death and love and doom and gloom, and it's a really old book, and it's like, I don't know that I'd give that to my kids to read. You know, obviously not young kids, but still didn't look like a kid's poetry book. Not really. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this image down now. I do like this image here of the apartment buildings. It's quite grungy actually, but it's kind of fun, and it's definitely dated. I can't remember when the magazine's from. It's either the 60s or 70s. I don't think it's in the 80s, but don't know, can't remember. I took the magazine because I didn't think anybody else would be interested, and I have to say there's not a lot in it to harvest, but there's the odd bit, odd interesting unique thing that you wouldn't find necessarily in any other form of magazine. I think the person kept it because it had an article on heart attacks and how to avoid them, and I think pretty sure that's why she kept the magazine in the first place. Right, let's arrange our labels. So I chose 3. You don't need 3, only need 1, but you know, sometimes it's necessary to overachieve. And that's definitely my story. We've got a little gap there, but that might end up being covered by a circle. No, I don't like it that way round. Maybe I just even want to put it up here instead. Let's put it up there in the middle between the 2 circles. And we can cover gaps with circles, so has anyone guessed the story? It will all come clear, my friends. Right, I might need to punch even more circles too, potentially. Just not sure at this stage. Right, we better put our prompts down so we don't end up covering those with anything. I think I want to take that down a bit more, so I'm going to tear off some of that bottom border because I need this person's arm here. It's important for the story, so I can't cover it up. At least not totally. So actually putting it at an angle might work better down there. Let's pop this one on. Oh, do I want circles under it first? I think I do. Cover that little gap. The circles don't really add to the story. They kind of just make it fun. Add interest and a bit of colour, because there wasn't a lot of colour going on otherwise. one down there. And I'll talk about what's on this particular label, because this label was chosen specifically as well. I went through my stash and was like, what can I make fit the story? And this one seemed to. It's from 1929 and it says Map of the General Omnibus Routes. Do we want a... Let's put a blue circle, big blue circle under there. I haven't got much to say, have I? I talked a little bit about the meal out I had at the restaurant where I got the tiny bit of fish, and how the other night I spent all night thinking about it and composing a letter and such in my head. And well, yesterday while I was out, I dropped off the letter to the restaurant just to say, you know, some assurance that this is not normal, and it was just like a bad day in the kitchen. I says, I'm not after anything, because I felt like on the day I was taken care of once I'd complained. But that, you know, if somebody else came along who was a bit not so bolshy as I felt that day, you know, more reserved, or just didn't want to make a fuss or whatever, you know, if they came along and just ended up with a meal that was not equivalent to their price paid, for their sake, you know, just guys, you need to keep an eye on quality control and make sure your meals that you serve are appropriate for the cost that people pay. And the portion sizing was varied, it wasn't consistent, and what I got served literally was not even sufficient for a child. It was such a tiny piece of fish. Ridiculous. So anyway, I dropped off the letter, addressed to the manager, and we'll see. We'll see whether I get a response. If, yeah, I might not. Depends what they choose to do. Let's just pop that one in there. Still got my spoon to attach for my stirring tool. I just so wished I could have found a giant big wooden spoon image. Would have been so cool. Right, I'm really making you hold out for this story, aren't I? But I felt this one was kind of better explained once I had everything down. Whoops, don't cover over my definitions. Another yellow one down here. Just a little bit on the person's arm. I do like the effect of these circles on the composition though. They're just adding some life somehow. Like it's all, oops. Yeah, I will put it there. I don't know. Just making it come alive in my eyes. And adding some cohesiveness too. I don't think I'm going to do any around here, although I could do one down here. Yeah, let's do one down there. And last circle that I've got punched. Do we want to add any more? Where do I want this one? Yeah. I'm feeling like I need another yellow one. So let's punch another yellow one. I want to preserve this red colour on the back, purpley red, as much as possible. Oh, no, that one's stuck down. This one. Where do I want it now that I've punched it? It's like, I think I want it up the top there. Not where I thought I would want it, but it actually works well. I could add even smaller circles, but I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we have our wooden spoon, and I'm just going to take a little bit off the end there and make it look like it's in that person's hand. So tell me, growing up, was a wooden spoon a form of punishment from your parents? I mean, these days it would definitely be frowned upon, wouldn't it? But back when I was growing up, wooden spoon was a common tool that a mum would use to discipline children if they'd been naughty. And my brothers got the wooden spoon quite often, and my mum broke one or two around their bottoms. I only remember ever getting the wooden spoon once, thankfully, because it hurts. Like it definitely hurts. If you've never had a wooden spoon around the bottom, it hurts. And it gives you a message that is not good. To do what you did is not good. You know, some lessons are hard learned. So this is my story here. Somewhere in this crowd, someone's being naughty. Maybe they've all been naughty. And this person is chasing them with a wooden spoon to beat their little behinds. This label here about the map is like that's kind of guiding them where they're running from, because they're hoping to get away and hide and not be punished. And that's why I've chosen these dictionary definitions, because they've done a crime, you know, something small, but a crime, like they've lied or they've ate an extra biscuit out of the kitchen or whatever. Thinking of childhood type crimes here. And punishment. So crime and punishment. We've got the crime of whatever they did. Maybe these resemble cookies that they've stolen out of the kitchen, the fresh baking that mum made for Easter Sunday, and they've been in and emptied the biscuit tin. And so chasing them with a wooden spoon down the road to punish them. And they're saying, if I stop and stand about, well, I know how things will be. Judy, mum, will be looking out every now and then for me to give me a good hiding with the wooden spoon. So that is my story. It gives me a little giggle. I hope it brings you a little giggle too. And I think I want to just try putting some smaller circles around just to add a bit of depth as well. So let's just punch a few out here and kind of layer them up, because I think that's just going to add even more fun to this. And I can cover a few more gaps like this one over here, you know, partially anyway. Sorry, bit froggy. And then I've got this weird little bit happening up here, so I'll cover that with a circle. Let's do some yellow ones as well. Let's just tear that off there, might be easier. And I'm using them to disguise the hard lines of the image. as well. Oh, my tummy is gurgling. Let's add a little one down here. And this wee one, where do we want this wee one? Up there. Just an extra layer. There, I think we are done for week 13. So we have a stirring tool, dictionary page, line of poetry, labels, path or road, and bonus circles. I'm really happy with that. I think that's fun. What do you think, guys? Do you like my wee story? Is it something that feels reminiscent for you, that perhaps you experienced in your childhood, or you know someone else who used to wear a wooden spoon around their bottom if they were naughty? Let me know. Share your tales. I don't mind if you don't talk about yourself, but maybe you had a brother who wore the wooden spoon, or a wooden spoon was broke on them more than once, like my oldest brother. Yeah, funny memories, and very nostalgic. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have a fantastic Easter, my friends. Make the most of it. Hopefully it's good weather wherever you are. I think we've got a mixed bag here for this Easter, but at the moment it's sunny. So looking forward to a warmer afternoon than it is now. And I will see you for the Deal It Up Challenge on Easter Monday. I'll see you then. Bye.